Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I welcome you warmly to this webinar on goal setting, goal planning for 2025 and beyond. I would like to thank you for making out time to be a part of this experience. My hope is that at the end of the day, it will be worth the while. It will be worthwhile to spend an hour or two with us on this platform. My name is Reverend Father Ikechukwu Odibo. I'm a leadership consultant. I'm a parish priest and a professor. For a long time, I've tried to build up experiences in guiding people to set goals, to achieve them, to improve organizations, to solve problems, and to make their lives better. So today we're going to share experience on one of the most fundamental steps, which is setting goals and achieving them, using this year as an experience, like an example. I want to tell you that this workshop targets those who lead organizations at different levels, but also individuals. In our presentation, we will be mixing up, making allusions to those who are leaders at their own personal capacity, and also those who lead organizations or officers in any church establishment or indeed in any secular one. The principles we are putting out can apply across board, so you can, of course, deploy it according to your own need for individual, for family, for business, and for organizations. You will need a pen and some writing materials to be able to benefit maximally, in this workshop. There will be a lot of exercises that can help you get the best from this. So I want to begin by taking you to Luke's Gospel, chapter 14. So many of the things we do have biblical foundation. Our teacher and our leader, Jesus Christ himself, encouraged his followers to plan and to set goals. If you read Luke's Gospel, chapter 14, verse 18 to 23, you will see what Jesus was saying, "For which among you intending to build a house does not first sit down and calculate the cost of building the house before beginning to build, so that midway he shouldn't run out of materials and suddenly stop." And then Jesus warns that people like this become laughing stock and are unable to complete their journey to building a house. If you go to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 3 to 4, you also see, "By wisdom a house is built, through understanding it is established, through knowledge the rooms are filled." All these biblical passages reinforce the need to plan and to set goals ahead and then pursue them. So I'm going to begin now to take you step by step through the process of setting goals and planning. Now, before we start, the moderator has already specified some of the ground rules to make you benefit maximally. We would like to be seeing your face, and we would like you to put your phone on silent so that you don't disturb others. Most of us are actually on mute. So if your phone is on, try to put it on mute so that you can at least not disturb yourself or disturb others. Please, it's advisable to participate. If you doze off or you don't show active participation, if you don't engage, you might lose interest because we'll be doing a lot of writings and solving problems. Remember, I'll tell you the principles, but basically you have to apply these principles in your own case. So, St. Thomas Leadership Society is dedicated to the development of church organizations, church members, through capacity building of church workforce at general and individual levels. We do this through trainings in leadership, in finance, in entrepreneurship, in self-development, self-improvement, and in the areas of education. We engage with leaders at all levels of society, and equip them with skills to lead with purpose and with impact. Well, my humble self, I am still the president of St. Thomas Society of Leadership, and I've been doing this for so many years. So it's my great pleasure to share some of our experiences with you. The mission of our organization is to help individuals to reach their goals. That's a little about the organization, to help individuals to achieve their goals, individuals and organizations. And then we are hoping that in due course, we will become the most influential and the most impactful training organization in Nigeria when it comes to individual empowerment and church workers. So, an ambitious vision, but that's what it is. You'll be hearing from us frequently, and by the grace of God and through hard work, we're going to be able to be gaining ground and push ourselves up to realize our vision. While doing that, we would have helped many individuals and organizations to reach their goals. So, for an icebreaker, I need you to, go out to the chat box. Of course, we already know your names. They're all on the, on your screens. But you need to tell us one thing that is true about yourself, and then one thing that is a lie. In other words, people might have a different conception about you. For instance, one truth is that you are 60 years old, or you're 70 years old, or you're 30 years old. But one lie might be that people think you are honest, whereas indeed you are a liar, or they think you are a rich man, but indeed you are poor. So, you can share that joke with yourself, but you can also put it there on the chat box so other people can share. So let's be moving. Now, the training is divided into 5 parts. In the next 5 minutes, I will be through introduction, and then we can get down to business. So once again, I welcome you. Now, from our end, we have set out some very clear objectives. And as you've set your own expectations and your own objectives, hopefully it will match with our own or even exceed it. But at least try to internalize, the objectives that we have set. So our hope is that at the end of the training, all these goals and the objectives we've set would have been realized for you, because you are our target and you are the reason why we are doing this. So there are many of them. They're actually uncountable, so we've just selected a handful to share with you. So the first one is the title is Goal Setting and Planning for 2025 and beyond. So you need to understand what is a goal. It's very, very crucial. You need to know the name of the animal you are dealing with. What is a goal? We're going to talk about SMART goals, not just goals, but SMART goals. So you need to know what smartness means. How does goals become smart? So when you talk about smart, you remember Enugu State. The governor of Enugu State is currently building smart schools, smart hospitals, smart society, smart highways, smart roads. So there is a bit of similarity. So then you will need to know not just what goals are, not just what the acronym SMART means, but also you will need to know what SMART goals then mean. And then you will be able to deploy smartness as a criteria to your own organization or to your own life. Because the smartness is the principle, and then you're going to use it, and then it becomes the guiding post for you now to use it for your organization and for your own life. There's no point learning it and then just like not making use of it. So it's an instrument for work. You also need to understand what a plan is, because this is about planning the goals. You set them and then you put in place a plan to realize the goal. Now you will need to understand, in addition, the link between the goals and the activities you will be performing, because goals stand out as the place where we are going, but you need to take the football and put it inside the post. So there is a link between what the target is and the activities you perform to bring you to the target. Goals are something that is outside of you, yet activities are the ones you perform that propel you towards your goal. Now you should be able to create a plan, either digitally or manually, that can help you. The plan helps you to know what you should do and at what time. Then you learn to engage a support mechanism. Normally, it's not very easy to go this alone. You really need a support mechanism that can propel you when you are getting weak or falling off. Now, you need to learn how to stay motivated. As a leader in front, you must always be optimistic. Others will look on you to get energy. You inspire others. You influence the lifestyle of other people, their attitude, their body language. So you must always stay motivated and then motivate those who are behind you. You motivate family, you motivate your group, you motivate your team, and you motivate those you work with, and motivate yourself. And then you should be able to look back and do a bit of, we call it tracking and performance evaluation. So add all these to your own expectations, and you see that it's quite a handful. It's like a full basket. But I can tell you that in the next 2 hours, you'll be smiling because all these things will be, within your reach, just like in your palms. So a kind of overview to prepare your mind. The workshop will have certain, the SMART criteria and its deployment, planning and time use, progress making, evaluation, and tracking. So the presentation modality, of course, is through this internet mediation, and practical work, the homeworks that you have to do from your own end. It's very, very important that we combine the two, because one way cannot do it. If you rely only on theory, it will enter from one ear and go out from the other. So preferably you have a notebook where you'll be writing, or sheets of blank papers. So getting ready for goal setting. I suppose in your mind, you would have a bit of vague, aspirations, vague interests. Sometimes what other people do that you would like to be like them. Some internal passions coming up from within, things that appeal to you naturally, the kind of things that attract, that catch your fancy. Goals can be set, along this line. But then it is those things within, or your aspirations or your wishes, that you now have to capture in the form of, goals. Now, I'd like to ask a question and you have to answer it on your own sheet of paper. Is goal setting something you already know and you already do even without knowing it? What is it all about when you have goal setting? So, to put it quite straightforwardly, goal setting is a process of defining and establishing a target that is beyond you for your personal and organizational accomplishment. So you see that it could be personal, it could be organizational. And when we talk about organizations, it can be a church-based organization, it can be a social organization, it can be a cultural organization, it can be, all sorts of organizations. Like Boy Scout is an organization, even parties are organizations, spendthrift, thrift organizations are financial organizations, cooperatives. So any organization, even age grades, they are all organizations, even families in a sense. This as far as you have more than one person working together, it's got organizational characteristics. So I need you to watch the 6 steps that I will explain. These are the 6 steps that we walk all the time. But I'm saying that you might be doing some of them naturally, like having wishes and aspirations. But the difference between wishes and goal setting is that these ones, that is it behind being successful, not just wishes, because wishes can be fleeting, it can come in, it can go out. But when it's been written down and you take the other steps that we're going to guide you through with, you'll find out that there is now a science that you are introducing into your life aspiration. Then you now move it from ordinary wishes to become success pursuit. You are now pursuing success. You are now pursuing to achieve something intentionally. Like there's a science behind it. So if you have been doing it, it could be that you do some part and not do the rest, which might be the reason it hasn't worked well for you so far. But if it has worked in some areas, kudos. But I'm sure that you can always exceed your current standing by virtue of the fact that you now pass through a science of goal setting and organizational and personal improvement, targeted journey, and intentional arrival. So number 1, identify a gap, identify a need. Today, I finished high school. Next, I want to be a medical doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an engineer. Or I've just finished my apprenticeship. Oh, I want to own a shop. I want to open my first business. It's a need. That's why I call it an aspiration. So that's the takeoff point. But you can also say, why can't I ride a bicycle? My mates are riding a bicycle. I need to learn how to ride a bicycle. It's a gap that you have identified. I can't even operate a computer. So many of my friends are operating computers. I need to get myself on the way. So these are goals. They all begin with aspirations. They begin with identification of a gap. So you can do so for yourself, for your organization, for your family. So that's like the foundation of all plannings and goal setting. First is to identify. So you go to the second one, which is conducting self-reflection and visioning. You will say, okay, I cannot ride a bicycle, but have I seen a bicycle before? Can I at least mount a bicycle? So if you assess your current standing, you'll be able to evaluate and say, okay, this is what I have, this is what I don't have. So I am going to plan now to learn how to ride a bicycle. My father has a bicycle. There's one in our compound. Then you take off. If you don't do an analysis of where you are currently, you will not know the exact goals to set. So it's a bit of like looking backwards, self-reflection, and then projecting towards the future. So from where you are and the shortages and the defects, the shortcomings that you see, or the aspirations that you have, you can now make a projection. Then the third step is for you to now craft a goal. Bombard yourself with goals in your bedroom. Use sheets of papers, put them on the wall, put them on the door, put them near the key handle. As you're coming in, you will see them. Craft a goal, write it down, use a marker. I am going to be rich. But I'm going to explain eventually. I want to ride a bicycle, or I want to get a new skill, and so on and so forth. But when we come there, I'll tell you how to make it specific. But it has to be written. Very, very important. That's why I call it crafting. And you might write and then you have to rewrite and then rewrite again and adjust and use the appropriate pronouns and appropriate verbs so that it is well captured. I'm going to give you nice examples when we get to that point. So fine, once you have crafted a goal, you come to step number 4 and you will say, I need to set a plan. If I'm going to learn how to ride a bicycle, now I've got a bicycle. I borrow one from my uncle. I borrow one from my friend. I need to find somebody who is patient, who can ride a bicycle. And so are we going to train every day? Are we going to train 2 times in the week? And how long is it going to take me to learn how to ride? Because in the bicycle, there are different levels. You can sit and pedal. You can stand and pedal. You can carry somebody behind you. You can carry somebody on the frame. You can carry things that are alive, human beings or live animals that might be shaking. You can also carry loads like cement. You might be descending a hill. You might be climbing a hill. So you need to develop a plan and specify the different aspects, the different components of what you are undertaking. That plan is what is going to guide you in the day-to-day. So if you said, okay, Chukwudi is going to teach me how to ride a bicycle, we shall meet 2 times in a week. Then you come down to Chukwudi, are you free on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? So you choose, and then after choosing the day, you don't have to choose the time. All that are the things involved with the planning because the goal has been set. You want to learn to ride a bicycle in 6 months. But then you have to break it down. 6 months does not come once. So there has to be step by step. Then, of course, number 5, which is implementing the plan. Yeah. To set the plan is one thing. Then to implement it, you will notice that normally you will not be able to implement it 100%, except you are so aspirational and so confident, because things beyond you will step in. But at least you should have a plan so that any day you go and come back, you come and take a good. Any day you go and come back, you take a good. Any day you go and come back, you take a good. So at the end of 1 week, at the end of 1 month, you should be able to look at it and say, fine, out of the 20 times I'm supposed to go for training, I've gone for 18 times. So if you want to multiply it by percentage, 18 will be something like 90%, which is really a good performance, you know. Then that's the point of the tracking, the motivation, and the evaluation. That is number 6. That is number 6. And that's the 6th step. And that's the 6th step. So all these steps, we're going to go through them inside the body of the training. And I will be guiding you, and you will take your own paper and write. And all these whole things, in your own case, you should have a complete plan by the end of this training. Good. I just hope I'm not moving too fast. I hope you are able to get something. And that is it. So we move on. Now, one might ask, how important is goal setting in your life? Some people stumble on successful by accident. But goal setting makes it a science. Some people stumble on successful life by accident. But goal setting makes it a science. Remember, Jesus said in Luke 14:18 that a man intending to build a house should first calculate the cost of building a house and set about to gather those items that build. Less he should stop by in midway, and people will now say, here is a man who started to build and is unable to finish. So if you look at the slide, you will now see that there are at least 4 clear, factors that make it very, very important. Number 1 is intentionality. Intentionality. Now you're clear with what you want. You know what? What I want is to learn how to ride a bicycle. You are not confused. So that intention is what drives you. I want to make my first 1 million naira. I want to be the governor of the state, the local government chairman. I want to take my organization to become financially free. Intention, your desire is very clear. Now, the outcome you need is also clear. I'm in Enugu now. I want to get to Onitsha. I'm in Abuja. I want to get to Lagos. So the outcome is very, very clear. You now apply yourself. You will now see that you have improved focus. Improved focus. Because focus basically means you're looking within a space. You get blind to everything that doesn't fall within the diameter of what you are looking at. When you look without focus, it means you're looking at anything that comes by your way. But focus will ensure that you discriminate. You are selective. You are doing what matters most. Then, of course, when you apply your energy and there is focus and intentionality, your productivity will go up. Enhanced productivity. Because assuming, for instance, that you are farming and you do that on a daily basis, clearly you will get a very large farm, in a short while. So that's the power of focus. That's the power of setting goals, because then it takes your whole energy and channels it. And that's the focus. You can add more. I mean, basically, I'm selecting the most important. You can always say, yeah, it's important for me because I cannot manage my resources very well. It's important for me because I will not waste too much of time, So you can add more and more. But these are the key ones. These are the very key ones. So now, before we move on, we need to do what we call, just that same thing I talked about, self-reflection or visioning. Self-reflection or visioning. Take a journey into the past. Who am I? I've gone to school, I've done this, I've done that. What have I brought along? How do I view myself? How did I get to this position? Some people, especially in church organizations, they become officers even without knowing it. Somebody can become president of CWO without wishing it, can become president of young men or young women. Somebody will just appoint you during an election and bah, you see yourself becoming one. But you are now the person who is meant to reorganize. So you look at self-reflection, I haven't got the skills, and then you do visioning, I need to get the skills. Or you look at your background as a person, you say, the school I went wasn't really very good, but I need to prepare for the world. So by the end of this, I would have gotten some digital skills like video editing or social media marketing or locate yourself, the circumstance of weaknesses, and then you project. You ask yourself, what's pushing you towards the goal? What's the matter? What do you want to overcome? What's the necessity of that? You know. But of course, there's the humility that comes with it. You cannot change everything overnight, but at least you can start with something. You ask yourself, what new abilities and strengths do you want to see in 1 year? Your identity today, can you restructure it or set in part the emotion for it? What are the lacks in your life that you want to fill up? Your father is debt, full of debt, liabilities. Do you want to at least bring yourself or your family business to a zero level, a safe debt? So there are lacks and things in your life that you need to get rid of. You have to think this through, organize your mind, because there's a thinking process. That's what we call it self-reflection and visioning. What weaknesses and defects do you want to overcome? Wasted chances. You went to secondary school, you couldn't finish, or you went to secondary school and you failed your WAEC, put enough investment in you, so you couldn't really go to the university of your choice. Neglected opportunities. You were sent to go and learn tailoring. You didn't really give it enough attention, and now life is getting tough. What can you change? Are you working on blind spots? Those areas of your life that pull you down. Because you know your life and you walk, you reflect, you are your best own advisor. At least in the secretness of your room, you can put out on paper, these are my weaknesses. I spend too much money on merriment. I waste a lot of time. So all those things and then you now set goals that can help you overcome them. What are the most troubling challenges about yourself, about your organization? What are the most troubling things about your life? What are the complaints that people are? So you take them as good feedbacks. They are vibes, which you can now remold and put them forward as goals. You know what? They say I'm lazy. I wake up by 10. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stop this. I'm into substance abuse. You know what? I'm at the risk of going mad or breaking down or getting mental illness. I'm going to work on this. I mean, this is the goal you're setting for yourself. Therefore, it should interest you to get a brand new you, a better you, in a better, in a short time, or your organization is lying flat. It doesn't achieve anything. The person who handed over to you messed the organization up, or maybe it didn't work as hard. Then what new things can I do? What new visions can I create for this my organization? How do I pull it up? They are, people are scattered. They don't have a sense of direction. It's falling upon you now to reorganize it. And where organizations at different levels, ụmụnna, and where ụmụada, and where associations, ndị obodo anyị bi in Abuja, people living in Lagos, all sorts of things, or within the church, or even in the office. It depends on the. So identify those troubling challenges about yourself, about your organization, and get ready to walk through it. You'll find out that once you can walk through it and identify them, then the first job is done. And that first job is making sure that the self-reflection and visioning, at least you have spotted out those things that can help you move forward. Well, some of you who know what they call SWOT, they call it SWOT analysis. You talk about your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Use that tool to analyze your life and your organization. So self-reflection and visioning is very, very important. If you cannot do it, you won't be able to go far. So in the final analysis, you will identify an area to focus on for the next few months, 12 months, 24 months, 18 months, as the case may be. And that's it. So we're going to do the first exercise now. We're going to do the first exercise now. I'm going to guide you because you will need to draw a diagram. I will show you a sample now. That diagram is going to help you to really, really have it easy. Now, for this exercise, you are required to reflect on the current standing of your life or your organization. Remember, we have not talked about the areas of possible improvement. I will take you through that, in the next slides. You will be able to say, am I trying to improve on finance? Am I trying to improve on my personal health? Am I trying to improve on the organizational membership number or operation? There are many of them. But for now, just do this visioning and self-reflection. You're required to focus on yourself and focus on identify a need, problem that is confronting you. If it is money, you write money problem, or you write peace problem, or you write scattered problem, our family is scattered, or an organization, you can write anything you like, So this exercise is the very first, and every problem you write will have one sheet of paper. I will show you the diagram now. You will draw the diagram, and for each diagram, problem. For each diagram, one problem, because that diagram is going to consume one problem. So if you have 5 problems for your organization, 5 personal problems, that means you will have 10 sheets of paper. So I'm going to show you the diagram that you will draw. We call it dashboard. It's called the dashboard. So that is it. This is the dashboard. You will see A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F on the y-axis. On the x-axis, you will see the webinar session, exercises. What is it focusing on? What is the problem? What is the response? And then comment will be done, undone, or you're successful or unsuccessful. To draw this, you will see that it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 columns, and then it has 8 rows. So a table of 5 columns, 8 rows. If you draw this, for each problem or for each gap or for each need, you will need one dashboard. And the exercises we'll have at the end of the day will cover these 7 steps. And then at the end of the day, you have a complete document that will help you to solve the problem. So for instance, a problem. So in self-visioning, you will see A. As if you look at this the slide now, you'll be seeing webinar section is on self-reflection and visioning. The exercise you are attempting is exercise A. The problem on the focus is the gaps and the problems on the needs in my life or in the organization. So a response is, for the organization, you might say membership shortage. Membership shortage. You can also write money shortage. You can write team shortage or lack of a team, or you say lack of skills. So when you say what is the gap that you identify, the response is in the membership shortage. When you have done it, leave the comment, because when I look at it, then we'll not be able to say done or not, because I know many of you might write the wrong things, so we'll have to correct it to help you. So I want to give you a second to be able to write these things. Draw this. If you want to draw 4, draw. If you want to draw 5, draw 5. Do 5 columns, 7 rows. That's why I thought a plain paper would have been better. But if you want to use like exercise books that are aligned, you can still use it. But know you that this is just for drafts. Eventually, you have to prepare it into a very decent, because we're going to be continuing what they call hand holding. There has to be a relationship between us and you, so you can reach us for support, and then we continue to go. So if you have drawn this, then we have to go on. If you have drawn this, then we have to go on. Take a moment, draw it, and then we have to go on. Draw 5, draw 4, draw 3. How many you want? Just draw. And then we move on. So I believe now you have drawn for yourself. Make sure at least that if you haven't drawn 10, at least draw 2. 1 for yourself and 1 for your organization. Spot 1 weakness, spot 1 problem each, because you'll be feeling the rest as we go along. So good. I'm going to move forward now. So these are the goal setting areas.
Father, sir, someone say a little more time. I should give a little more time so that you'll be able to.
Pardon?
Somebody just sent a message that you should give a little more time.
Yes.
Okay, you want to draw?
Yes, the person should give a little more time.
Okay, draw. Okay, fine. Let me go back to that slide. Okay.
Yes, Father.
But you know what? You can just draw 2 samples. Draw 2 sample ones. And then for those who are parish priests, if you look at your church, you can just write, how do I look at my church? 1 is maybe lack of funds or uninformed members, ignorant. You know, like you're going to, like, through reflection, generate the problem that you want to solve. So please write it. Let me give you 1 more minute. Do the practice, do the practicals. If you don't do the practicals, there will be no magic because this is already engaging your mind. I believe we can go on now because we still have 4 more exercises. And my time is running up because I only have another 30 minutes and I have to complete my slides. Never mind, there will be break time when you can now look at all that and complete the graph, the diagram. Now we go on. So, which areas can I say which areas can I focus on when I want to set goals? So, goal setting areas. So I first handle the organizations and then I'll come to individuals. So for the organization, you can apply it to any setting that is like more than one person. Parish, zones, units, societies, associations, town union, whatever. So the first area where you can clear problem area in so many organizations will be membership, inactive membership or insufficient membership in the parish. The parish priest doesn't even know how many members, and he would like to mobilize more people to come to church or to respond, but he doesn't know how to do it. But at least the fact that you identify it as a problem means that it's a very good thing to identify it to start with. So knowing the area is important. Now, one can say financial growth. My business is going down. Our church has no money. Our group has no money. We're always unable to do the things that we should do because we don't have money. So financial problem is always a problem. It's a gap. You need an office, but you cannot afford an office. You need to buy equipment, but you cannot afford it. Why? Might be expansion needs. Expansion needs. In other words, they have one organization, but they want to plant it in many other places. So let's say a town union, they are present in the village, and they want to set it in the city or in Abuja or in London or in Washington. So this is expansion, you know. Or a goal that you can pursue. But then as an organization, you can also focus on operational improvement. Like in the parish, if they don't see the parish priest, nothing works. You can say, no, I want to set up a secretary with an office. Whether I am there or not, the secretary will answer to the people, collect money, give out money, pay workers, and present the accounts to the finance committee or to the parish priest. To improve operations is a big goal in an organization. St. Jude people, where do you keep your money? There is no bank account. There is nothing. People are there to, they know that if they come to the parish house, they can get a young boy, a young girl that can receive them. And there's a small office, and there is a printer, and there is a laptop, you know, things that can make you serious. So these are for organizations, and there are many more, of course. Because of your self-reflection and the visioning, you can identify many more. I've only listed just a few of them. You can work on something like level of satisfaction for your clients. Everybody's disgruntled. Why are they unhappy? You can work on transparency. You know, there are many goals you can set. I'm going to be publishing quarterly accounts to my group, to the parish, or to parish council, or whatever, to increase the level of satisfaction. So let's go to individual and professional goals. So for personal goals, you can talk about health. You can say, I think I'm actually obese. I'm overweight. I need to become healthier. I've not gone to hospital in the last 5 years. This year, I'm going to do a full check. I want to improve in my feeding. Let me eat more of fruits to make sure that I look after my health. I want to introduce sports or exercises. I want to register in a gym to improve my health. However little, I want to do exercise of XYZ every day, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. I want to play soccer. You know, like your health, you identify it as an issue and you set a goal. You can do skills. I cannot operate a computer. I must learn it this year. Which package am I going to learn? I'm going to learn at least Microsoft package, the most important ones. I learn Excel, I learn Word. I learn one designing, I learn Canva, or I learn one video scale, CapCut. You can say, I want to improve my spiritual life. Let me read through the Bible, for crying out loud. Let me read one chapter every day, or let me say my rosary every day, or let me go to the mountain once every month. If you feed your spiritual life, it is a target you can set. You can also work on family. I normally don't call my people. I don't remember them. I don't make gifts. This year, I'm going to build family. You just sit down, write down the names and birthdays of all your family members and call them and send them gifts. They'll be surprised. Say, no problem. I've been praying for you. I've been thinking about you. You can say you want to connect with the wider, extended family, secondary family, uncles, cousins, first step cousins, and all that. You are building family. It's a target. You can also do on finance. Finance, basically you say, this year I'm going to stay debt free. I've been in debt for so long. This year I was, this is getting too much. And then you say, I want to save. At the end of this year, can I build up like 1 million naira? People are never coming to borrow from me. So those are targets you can set. Now, you can say job. Am I employable? What kind of job can I do? Let me upgrade myself so that I can get the job that you start working towards it. I'm going to get job in the bank. I'm going out and you pursue it. You can say, I want to make an investment in my life. I've never had an investment around. Why can't I be owner of one? Why is it that I'm always the person depending on
What happened? Huh. Guess this should be network. Father, are you still there?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Are you hearing
Yes.
me? I'm going on.
Yes, you can go on. You can go on, but I think you need to bring.
Okay, network is having some challenges, but so far so good.
Yes, sir.
So that is it
You need to
about
go back to your sharing
personal
screen. Your sharing screen.
investments. Pardon?
I said you need to go back to your shared screen.
Okay, you're not seeing.
So you went.
Yes.
Your. I think your network tripped off. So you went off and now you are back. So the screen needs to be shared again.
See you again. The screen.
Okay.
Can see you.
Yeah, just a moment. Can you see me? Can you see the
No.
screen
We
now?
can see the shared screen, as in the slides. We can see the slides.
And the
You can
slide is
see it
coming. The
now.
slide is back now.
Yes, better.
Yeah, it is back.
Can you see the slides now?
Yes, you can see the slide
Yes.
now.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can go
Remember,
on. You
all
can go on now.
exercises will be on the dashboard. So all exercises will be on the dashboard. You know, we are still a third world country and we are struggling with everything. White people are using open access Wi-Fi. Well, here we are using modems and SIM cards, but hopefully we'll get there. So good. Are you with me? So there's an exercise. Let's call exercise B. You need to take like 2 minutes to complete this. You need to take like 2 minutes to complete this. Exercise B. You will fill it in the second space. Okay, I need to take you back to the dashboard. That's it. You will see if you have drawn this dashboard, this is the B. You will see B, that's where you will fill it. So you begin from which webinar section is that? That is areas of goal setting. That is the areas of goal setting. That's what it is all about. That is the B. You will now write the area that you want. If you like, you write investment or you will write one, remember, for your organization and write in the other dashboard for your personal life. So that is the focus and the problem. Now write which area. So this one is all about the areas of goal setting. Which area are you talking about? Are you interested in membership? And so on and so forth. So the area is what you write here. And I'm sure you're following me. I too am working on this, and at the end, I will show you my uncompleted. I will show you my uncompleted dashboard. So I take you to the question so you can at least see it. So please write on the same dashboard, that sheet of paper, in the section called exercise B, write down one area of improvement you want for yourself. Write one also for your organization. on different sheets. This is not the goal setting itself, but the area you would like to see clear improvement by the end of the year. I'll give you like a minute to complete this. Remember, you have already drawn the table, so filling it up won't be too difficult. I'll show you the dashboard again. This is the dashboard. Which webinar section? The section is choice of area for goal setting. The aspect of your life you want to focus on. Is it health? Is it on skills? Is it, so you write on that webinar section, you know, the areas for goal setting. Then you write, of course, B is already there. Then you come and write something like, that's under the focus. You will write something like investment. You know, what is the reply? Poverty or lack of investment or whatever. Lack of skills, you know. Don't feel D yet. So those ones who are still coming, these are the ones that you feel at once. So if you are succeeding, can somebody just make a little notice so that
Please, if you are succeeding, use the reaction box. You can just send a thumbs up that you are succeeding. If you are doing it where you get it, just use your reaction box. You can use your reaction box.
So that's it. Somebody is praising something very important. I mean, I'm just giving you like a time. Sir, you have hit a very important point. The loss is incurred due to lack of enough hands. Could be more than wages to be paid to that extra hand. Very important. Somebody said, give us more time to complete the exercise. Very good. Yes. We are giving you more time. So let's move on because we still have a bit of work to do. Remember, you are on your own journey. Make sure you follow and you're able to, you know, solve these problems as they come because it helps you in the thinking process. So we're not coming to the heart of it, goal setting and planning proper. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, you will be armed fully with an ability to set goals and plan. That is our target. And that is what we're getting into. So be ready as we move on to the most important part of this. Good. So fine, this is called, I've taken you now to the heart of the matter, goal setting fundamentals. I want to introduce you to the SMART goals criteria. You know, we talked about SMART when we were starting as one of our objectives. Every goal you set must be SMART because, you know, we will now identify the area. We've done visioning and self-reflection. We've identified gaps and desires and aspirations. Now, this is the opportunity to transform them into goals. These 5 criteria will help you to make sharp goals that are SMART compliant. So when you want to make goals, there is something very, very important about it. The first one is S. The first acronym, the first criteria is S. It has to be SMART. Now, S means every goal must be specific. Be clear what you want to achieve. You see, don't mix too many things up. Let's say, for instance, you say, I want to go to Abuja and Kaduna. Say, I want to go to Abuja. It's very clear. I want to go to Abuja in 6 hours. So when you say clearly what you want, you'll find out that it's not confusing. Once there is anything vague or too general about what you say, it is not specific. Once more than one meaning can be implied, then it is not specific. Don't say, I want to be a good man. Nobody knows what a good man is. Say, I want to show more kindness. So target one specific thing. Don't say, I want to be healthy. Nobody knows what being healthy means. Say, I want to lose weight. And when we move forward now, you will now see that even saying I want to lose weight is not enough. You will have to say what you want to lose. So that one is the one that is called measurable. Measurable. So you will say to your goals so that you can track it. Use numbers or percentages as a tool for measuring. So if, for instance, you say, currently I am 80 kilogram. At the end of this year, after 12 months, I want to reduce by 10%. So you will say, I don't want to add weight. Instead, I want to lose 10 kg. You must be specific. You must be specific. You are specific. You also add measurability. Once you see figures, my shop currently gives me a profit margin of 100,000. I want to increase it by 200,000. That is 100%. I want to grow my profit by 100%. I want to grow my clients by 50%. So it has to be measurable. So you are growing clients, that's specific. By what margin? Making it measurable, because you will not be able to say, I set out to grow my profit or to gain 30 more customers. Did I succeed? If you don't add the numbers, you will not be able to measure it. That's why I say you cannot say, by the end of this year, I want to be healthy or healthier. You can put health as an area of interest, but health is not the goal. You will say, my blood pressure is this. I want to bring it down to that across 5 months. I want to lose weight. I want to lose 5 kg in 6 months. Because you say it's measurable, you'll now be able to know whether you are getting it or not. Then you say, don't set goals that are not achievable. Make it achievable. Set realistic and attainable goals. Don't go too high. Don't go too little. Take note of your current abilities, levels, your current limitations and lacks. For instance, in 2027, I want to be the president of Nigeria. Well, that's too ambitious. It's not achievable. If you are weighing 150 kg, you cannot say in 2 months, I want to be 50 kg or 100 kg. You cannot shed that half of your weight in 2 months. You might die doing so. So make it achievable. There's no point you get a little boy, you want him to set a goal, you now make it so high that the person gets so tired. If you are a leader of an organization, you can say, can I just add 10 more members this year? So you find out that your target is every month one person. You might exceed it, but at least make it achievable. Make it achievable. Don't overreach yourself. Don't overreach your resources. You come to a parish, the bazaar is 5 million. Out of that 5 million, 2 million is cash. You can set a goal and say, I want to reverse the equation. I want 3 million to become cash and 2 million pledges. So you're still within the range of 5 million, but you're now, in other words, your emphasis will now go to cash donations. You can say, I've come to this church, I have seen 700 members. In 2 years, I want to double the number. I want us to be 1,400. So your target will be one person, bring one new person. So you now have known clearly where you're going. It's achievable because, but you cannot say, I want to pull down this church, build a bigger one, and then I want to grow my church to 10,000 in 1 year. That's too ambitious. If it's too ambitious, it will become too cumbersome. And when you're not succeeding, you become depressed and you lose, you will not have motivation again. So it has to be relevant. Remember that what you are fighting for is to achieve your life goals, to your aspirations and your deep desires. So drive a car. All of them might be nice, but at least that's not your goal. I mean, it's important, but it's not very relevant for. So the final T is that have no time, specifications. Work within a time frame, specific deadlines, create urgency and focus. Drive yourself. Time helps you to drive yourself. Because you said every Thursday, I must run 1 kilometer forth and back. Once the time is coming, you see that you start feeling uncomfortable. You just have to fulfill that calling because you are the person that fixed the goal. So this SMART criteria is the ultimate thing about goals. It must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be achievable, it must be relevant, it must be time bound. Very, very important. There are other things I need to explain about this, so we have to move on. Because after setting the goals, there are other things that also you should take note of. So we're at the heart of the matter. So you now go back to the dashboard, go back to that table that you have drawn. Remember, at least one for yourself, one for your organization. This is the dashboard. Go to your own, then go to C. What we are now doing is the SMART goals. The left of C, that's under webinar session, SMART goals, fundamentals. Then you come before it and say, what is the SMART goal? Setting the goal. then you come to the response and set one with yourself, one with your organization. Targeting one area, because you have to make it correspond to the area that you've identified in B. So if it's a membership, you will craft one goal that responds to that shortage, that responds again to the self-reflection and the visioning of yourself. As I said, don't comment yet. I'll tell you what to do when the time comes. So this is the dashboard. As usual, I'll give you 1 minute, and we finish, we go on. It's important that you now feel it. Go to the dashboard. You already have it on just in front of you, so you can. It's there in front of you, so you can think, do it. This is also an opportunity to review the rest. Make it in sync. That an internal relationship between exercise A, exercise B, exercise C. Do not disconnect. Do not disconnect the internal logic between them. So the whole idea is that it is a science. That diagram will be a scientific document when you finish. That diagram will be a scientific document when you finish. So I will show the exercise 2, so you can now this is it. Write down one SMART goal in this that's along the line of section C and exercise C. Write down one SMART goal. One for yourself as an individual, one for your organization. So that tighten any of the areas. But if you want to build, like you have like some areas you're interested in, you have to craft one goal each for all of them. You will craft for investment, you will craft for health, you will craft for family, you will craft for spiritual growth, you will craft for your finances, staying out of debt, and so on and so forth. So if you are owing 1 million naira, you will say, by the end of this year, I would have paid back my 1 million naira debt 100%, 50%, 30%. Of the 1 million I'm owing, I should have paid. So you'll be getting something like 60,000. So every month you must pay 60,000. If you don't do it, then you cannot be. Don't say, don't worry, I will pay all of them together. So that's it. So I believe you are done now. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect now. We will be relating with you and we can help you to improve on it. Enough to fine tune it, but at least have something. I have to move on because I have only 10 more minutes to finish this first round. So I want to go through this you'll see now, which is activities, goal, activity loop. What's the relationship between them? We're now getting into planning gradually because you will see that Once the goals are set, the next thing is to plan how to achieve them. Now, somebody raised as part of an objective is strategies. Strategy is a different thing in terms of now you want to repay. How do you repay? What we are dealing with is the question of what is to be done. Another workshop will be needed to answer how to do it. That one is called strategy workshop. We will still organize something as a follow-up to this. So we're now in your mind, I need you to ask yourself, what is the relationship between goal and activity? How does goal, which is a principle or a verbal or a written target, become realized? How the change that I'm looking for, how does it come to pass? The answer is activity within time. So number one, you have now written clear, smart goals. That is number one. Very, very important. Once you come to this level, it's called the goal activity loop. Be clear about goals. Then number two, understand the connection between goals and activities. If you set all the goals on earth and you don't do anything towards it, it will not be achieved. So action is very, very important. Action is crucial. But setting the goal is more important than the action, because it's like saying, I want to go to Onitsha. You know where you're going, then you start looking for the bus. If you don't know where you're going, which bus are you going to find? You enter a motor park and there are thousands of buses. You don't even know what to do. Now, number three, you will break down the goals into actionable units. I'm looking for 1 million. Fine. How do I even raise 10,000 to start with? I want to lose weight. How do I shed off the first one? I want to stay healthy. What should I stop? What should I begin? I want to invest. How do I invest? How do I know what is profitable? When you break down goals into actionable units, then start attaching time frames for each unit of activity. Start attaching time frames. So if you say, for instance, I want to read through the Bible, and then the Bible has 77 books. If you say you want to read through the Bible in 1 year, in terms of your spiritual activity, personal, you say, okay, how can I do it? Every month has a month. I mean, there are 12 months, and each month has 30 days. So if I break the Bible into chapters, will I get 365 days? I know there are 52 weeks in a year, and there are 12 months, and there are 365 days. But the books of the Bible are 77. So if I say, if I read one book a month, I would have got very close to fulfilling that. So, or you read one book a week. So Genesis in first week of January, Exodus in second week of January. You're now targeting to read 55 books. So it means that the small books you now read about 3 or 4 at a time. You will attach time to each activity and then realize it. So align the activities and the expected out across a clear timeline. That is it. When you do the time, I will show you the example that is coming. You will now see, okay, this is what I want to do this week. This is what I achieve after it. This is what is coming after it. I'm sure that this coming on. Then ownership of the emerging calendar of activities and implementing. That's why I'm telling you, draw it. You can put it on your bedside, put it on your study, put it on the door. For when each time you're going out, you will see it near the door post. It will help you. So once you start doing that, then you're already going into planning. You need to understand what is planning. Planning means setting objectives and designing a route to achieve them. Planning means identifying and evaluating alternative courses of action and settling for the most practicable within the circumstances and resources available. If you are a teacher and you want to grow your skills, you cannot put the train in the morning when you go and teach. If you are living in debt, you cannot at the same time plan to become an investor while you are already indebted to so many. So in other words, the mind has to be out. You have to be a bit reasonable about it. So you understand what planning is, then you identify resources and support. So I need to explain this 2 and 3. Normally, if you are a husband or you're a wife or you have good friends around you or your children, you have to speak to them about the things you are planning for. If you have a parish council, tell them. If you have officers or society, tell them what you are trying to do so that everybody will know where everybody is going, because you have to share the vision, you have to share the goal. In other words, if a child tells the mother, "Mommy, I have to read 1 chapter of the Bible every day so that I can read through the Bible in a year," the mother will be watching the girl. If it's getting to 8 o'clock and the girl, Mama, I said, "Go and read the Bible you say you will read." You see it. If you tell your wife, "I want to call my family members within this month," the woman will tell you, "Have you called them? Oh, you said you want to save money and you are now doing party here and there." Your partner will tell you, "I'm not sure you are serious in this your goal. Oh. You say you want to shed weight, and the quantity of rice you are eating on Sunday is scary, like a mountain." People around you will tell you they're not serious. So, number 4, overcome obstacles. There will be obstacles because once you set out to do something great, set a goal, there will be, problems arising, facing it. But you stand your ground. So if you identify and even anticipate those potential challenges, let's say those who will set you back, your friends who have been spending money before, wasting money, and you now want to save, there will be a problem. They'll call you and say, "My friend, come." Or you want to do skills, and it becomes so difficult, and you want to go back. Develop strategies for overcoming those obstacles that are coming your way. Seeking support of those mentors or people around you that can help to give you inner strength. So this last one is important. If you don't want to go manual, you can set up apps on your computer that can remind you what to do every day. There are so many useful apps now that can help you to plan. Like I'm reading like some portions of the Bible, I set it in such a way that you can read a specific portion every 1 hour. It will give me a verse to read. And I read it, I pray with it, I keep my phone. Then when it is the time, it will just do bing, bing, and I go to it. So it's something that is intentional, That is it. So when I move forward now, I will be showing you a list of planners, methods you can use to plan. There are manual methods, like the ones I've said. Make a sheet of paper, print it out, put it on the head of your bed. It's a plan. On the door is a plan. You can also use journals, flipping journals. If you go to main market or go to any bookshop, say, "Give me 2025 journal or 2025 calendar book, diary." You now put it. Start writing those things, what to do each day. Wake up, look at the diary, and pursue the goals there. Because you will now have to write across what you will do for each day on the date. When you wake up, before you go to bed the day before, you say, "Tomorrow I have a training with the computer. Tomorrow I have this. I need to call Uncle this. I need to call this, So look at this. If you look at this diagram now, you will see a good breakdown of how to plan. A good breakdown of how to plan. You will see your goal is very clear. Read one book a month. Let's say the book has 60 chapters, for instance. Read one book a month. That means read 12 books a year. So you see, the goal is very clear. I will read one book a month. So in 12 months, you've read 12 books. So now this is month of February, the time frame. So you get February has how many weeks? 4. So you say this is sample week 1. So you pick the book. You read for Monday, you must read chapters 1 to 4. On Tuesday, you must read chapters 5 to 8. You can go ahead of your own plan and read even chapters 5 to 10. It doesn't matter, provided you don't go low. You can always exceed. But it's always good not to overreach your own capacity so that you don't break down. Then on Wednesday, you read chapters 9 to 11. Thursday, chapters 10 to 14. Friday, chapters 15 to 18. Saturday, 18 to 20. Now, if you divide this into 4, you will be getting something like 80 chapters. But because you will not always succeed, you will use the last week now to mop up your shortfalls. On Sunday, I put in break there, so you don't overreach yourself. This break will help you to recover. You might need to read on Sunday, but then you will recover all the spillovers from all the. But make sure you get to chapter 20 before Monday comes. Then you start again chapter 21 to 23. And so on. The other week, you start from chapter 41 to until you finish the book that has 60 chapters. You do it with the Bible, but to make sure you plan, you would have written down, put it on your bed. This Genesis has 35 chapters. I'm going to read it in 1 month. Therefore, on day 1, you must read chapter 1. On day 2, you must read chapter 2. You will put it out clearly like this. Sample planning process. Allocate time to each activity. So there is an exercise waiting for us here. And that will be the last exercise before we have a short break. Because many of us, I'm sure that your brain must be hurting now. You have put in 90 minutes of, very high, demanding intellectual concentration. So thank you very much. So now you complete the dashboard by adding timeline and then making it a full plan. The tracking is the last one. And that's what we're going to see by the time we complete the tracking and motivation, which is the last flap of the training. So take a minute or 2 and complete the exercise. When you complete the exercise, you will now see what a full action plan looks like. So I take you back to the dashboard. I take you back to the dashboard. So you see the dashboard, you are now filling up CDE. 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 The F will come at the end. But if you can have A, B, C, D, E, then you have a full dashboard. And what you are holding in your paper is the science of succeeding in that goal that you have set. It is doable. It is doable. That is it. Keep writing the last 2 as we try to tidy up. I'm going to end now in 1 minute or so for the first lap. and then we come back for 10 minutes to tidy up. Complete the dashboard by adding timeline, making a full plan. You have identified the gaps in your life. I cannot ride a bicycle. You've put in the area. I want to improve in transportation and save costs. You have now put the goal very clear. In 12 months, I want to be an expert rider. So put in the other ones, the 12 months, within which time, or in 6 months, or in 1 year, as the case may be. The F will be about tracking and motivation. So what is on the board before you on the slide is my own completed dashboard. Your own must look something like this. It doesn't have to, of course, be exactly this, but you must do this. So you will now see that reflection, gaps, and problems. What is the gap? Membership of my organization, there's a shortage. We are only 40. So area of interest is I want membership growth. Membership growth. Then the SMART goal. Then you write the responses. I want to grow my organization membership by 50% in 12 months. If there are 40 now, and you want to grow it by 50%, it means that in 12 months, there should be how many? 60. 60, because you want to grow by 50% over 12 months. Goal and activity. There's something you need to do. Which action will you take to make sure you grow the numbers? I will make calls. I will visit people. I will talk to people. I will throw a party to gather people. And then those who have been gathered, I will now tell them about the organization. What is the action plan? The action plan, you will put, you put a structure to the activity. That is completing a routine dashboard for each targeted goals. Then number 5, which we haven't reached, is the tracking. You review, you evaluate, then I reward and motivate. But we'll come to that. Because if you set a target for the first quarter and you wanted to shed 10 kilograms and you shed 2, my brother, you need to give yourself a gift. Or if your son improving plan, he still needs encouragement because he has achieved his target. Assuming you say, you know what, you don't need to come first, but at least come to the first 20 in 1 year. And they're going to move from 31 out of 36.
This network has come again. Please, sorry, I think there's a bit issue with his network. I'm sure it will come back. It will come back now. I'm sure it will be back. Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. You went off. And I guess the network was bad, I guess.
No, but you see what I'm sharing?
We can't see what you are sharing. You need to reshare it.
make it I am coming to the end. So if you look at this, that's the last slide before we go on. This one. Personal and family and groups. You go there and insert, things as you want it done. Then there's Trello. So that is it. And it hasn't been easy, I know. So alternate and allow you to have some little stretch your legs, you can have even eat something, get a refreshment, stretch out, walk, take a walk. Then most importantly, work on your see something tangible which we can see, and then we'll get it going. So thank you very much. I'll be coming back in 15 or 20 minutes.
All right, Father, thank
3
you.
slides. I think you need to rest now.
All
Thank
right,
you very
Father,
much for your time.
Thank you very much for that. Please, if you really enjoyed the first session of this workshop, please send a reaction. Use your reaction box to send a heart or a thumbs up if you really enjoyed the first part of this training. Please send a reaction. Before we'll be going on break in a minute. We'll be going on break in a minute. Send a reaction. So what we're going to do now is, like I said at the beginning of this training, I said we're going to be taking a photo, like a picture, and we're going to take the first part of the picture now, and after the final training, the final session, we're going to take the second part. So please, if your video is off, please kindly turn it on. If your video is off, kindly turn it on